So let's create a walk cycle using this rig here. If you want, you can download it below so you can follow along. I think you need Toonboom Harmony Premium. Let's get started. A few requirements before we get started. You're gonna have to have some knowledge of how to animate in Toonboom. So like how to use the transform tool, how to use very simple deformers, things like that. We can make another video in the future going over the basics, but this one I just wanted to focus on walk cycles. So walk cycles are actually very, very important to learn. It's a good way to test your knowledge of all the 12 principles of animation because you need all of them to do a completed walk cycle. So let's start with the basics and then you can experiment and branch out from there. So first things first, to make a walk cycle, you just need 5 main poses, right? So we got our contact is our first pose, our down, our passing, and our up position, and then we're back to the contact. So what does that mean? Let me show you. So here you guys can see this is what a contact position is. So just when the feet are just touching the ground, that's what we call a contact. So if you can see the red leg here is just touching the ground, the blue leg is in the back. And now here the blue leg is just touching the ground and the red leg is in the back, right? So you'll have 2 contacts. Next is the passing. That's the next most important pose. So next we have our passing pose, and it's pretty self-explanatory. This is when the legs just pass by each other. So if we look real quick, we have the red leg here. It plants, and the blue leg passes, right? That's our passing. And then we have it on the other side. Next, so with these 2 poses, with our contacts and our passing poses, you can pretty much make a believable walk, but it won't look finished. So to give it some more weight, this is when these next 2 poses come in handy. So we have our down pose, which is when you're putting more weight on that front foot. So it makes contact here, the foot, but then you plant it in the down pose. So usually also, if you notice the head is lowest on the down, right? So it goes down, up into the passing, and then we have our up pose. So it goes down, up, and the head is at its highest point in the up pose. The up pose is just an in-between between the passing and the contact. There you go. Those are the five poses you're gonna need, and now we can start building our actual walk. All right, so we have the rig here. Let's start with our first pose. These 2 lines on the ground. This will just be a guide so we can match up our feet. So let's go in, grab the leg, and let's move it so just like it's touching the floor, right? That'll be our contact. We move this leg back, grab the other one. And if you want, you can switch the feet, right? In the library, you can switch the feet to get one that fits. So we got this. The feet are looking good. Now, with the arms, guys, see how the arms, how the front foot, the front leg, and the front arm are both forward? We want to make that opposite. So let's grab this arm and move it back. Let's grab this arm and move it forward. That's very important to remember. A walk, it's opposite, not the same. Okay, and there we go. That's looking good. That's our first pose. So once we know the poses, it's fast, fast, fast. Let's do another keyframe and do our second contact. All we need to do is switch these legs. I'm going to bring this leg to the front. I'll match it up with the other foot and with the line on the floor. And we can distort the feet a little bit just to suit our purposes a little more. I'm just trying to match the feet now. That's probably one of the most important things, is to keep the feet consistent in a walk. So we can even deform this to fit the perspective of the leg and the angle. Okay, let's connect the hips. Okay, if we see, let's move this down and move it forward a little bit. There we go. We gotta switch the hands again, right? So this hand will go back. Nice powerful walk, a nice powerful swing. This hand will go like this. We can even move the hand forward. Oops. Move the hand forward a little bit and get that perspective. Right. So if we look, we scrub back, he's walking. All right, so now basically most of the hard work is pretty much done. We have our two main poses. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the first ones and paste them at the end. So this way we have our cycle. He goes other foot, back to the same foot. So let's select these frames, press plus on your keyboard. So now we have an empty frame, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight these, press Control K, and now we tween this, right? So this is gonna make it so the feet move an equal space. I'm gonna use the computer to fill in all the in-betweens. I'm gonna keyframe this, F6. Now, if we go to the onion skin, all I'm gonna do is I remember which foot is passing, because we're gonna do the passing pose now. So the back foot is gonna be the one that's off the ground. So I'm gonna plant this front foot, and I'm gonna change the back foot to more of a, like a passing position. Right, we can adjust. Let's make it this foot. We can move it here, make it a little smaller. It's kind of big. I can adjust these so the perspective is right. And there we go. It was so simple to make my passing pose. I have the arms right where I want them because the computer filled it in for me. Boom. And now the same thing on the other side. I'm going to select these, F6. And now I just need to remember. So this is passing, going through. Now the back foot here is going to be the one that's off the ground. So let's plant this foot right there, right on the line. Let's adjust this foot so it's off the ground. We'll change this, change the foot drawing. Let's make it a little smaller and just skew it a little bit. I can hook up the hips with the legs, but I don't need to do much else for my passing pose. It's quite easy. So we have one, and now it's really starting to come together. And so let's go to the first frame again. We'll press plus to give it some space, Control K to fill in the tween. And let's do that here as well, to the next contact. So now we have contact, tween, passing, contact, tween, passing. And let's fill it in just like we did before. So remember, the down, this is going to get a little tricky because now he's going to be lower. So let's first of all plant our front foot on the floor. So I'll select the whole body, shift down, move him down one, and then I'll go back up and just match the leg. So it looks like if I can use my onion skin to get it just right. Now for the back foot here, it's still going to be on the floor, but it's just going to be like it's just about to come off the floor. So I can skew this a little bit. Let's move it back a little bit. Skew the foot so it kind of sticks, but it moves back. So see that? The foot moves back. Let's fix the perspective. Oops. fix these hips. Now here, the arms we need to pay a little bit more attention because on a down position, the arms are the farthest away from the body. So see how the arms go towards each other here? What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to select the arm and I'm going to move it forward instead of back. Right, I'm going to move the arms forward so it kind of drags a little bit. So same thing with this arm in the back. I'm going to drag it backwards so it gives it more of a dragging effect. Next thing, let's go to our other down pose. And it's a little tricky because it's on a 3/4 angle. If it was completely side view, it would be a lot easier, but it's not even a big deal. So let's, same thing again. Let's select everything, go down a little bit, and then we're just going to match our feet. So we have it on the line. So it looks like it's planted. There you go. We got to slide this foot back just like before because the feet are farthest apart from each other. Oops. Let's skew this a little bit. Make it a little smaller. And then let's do our trick with the arms. So see how the arms go in? I'm going to make them go back. I'm going to drag them a little bit. So they hang in the air for a second. Okay, now if we scroll through, his feet are on the line, and he has a little bounce now. Now it looks more like a walk. We're almost done. Let's add our up pose now. So we go contact, down, passing, select all three, plus, add a tween. Down, so contact, down, passing, plus, for the up. Right, so let's fill this in. Now we're going to do the opposite. So for the up, we're going to lift him up a little bit. So shift up. Now he goes up. See that? But we're still going to keep our feet. This is literally just an in-between. So we're going to go to our onion skin. Oops. And we're just going to lift the leg a little higher. It can start coming up like this. And we're just going to match. We're going to match these. So there you go. Oh, let's fix this perspective because we can. Why not? Here, here, here. Boom. There you go. So if we look, he's lifting his leg up. Takes a step. And we don't have to do anything with the arms either because it fills it in. Toonboom fills it in. There. Next, let's go here. This is up. We're going to keyframe these, lift them up, and just match it to our guide. Let's show our onion skin again because it's an in-between. We want there to be even space. We have that. We're good. Let's lift this leg up just a little bit. That's why it's called the up. We can move this a little forward. Match up our hips and fix our perspective on the feet. So he goes up, down. And if we play this, he should walk. He's probably going to be very quick. He's walking. Let's repeat. Right, it's on ones, it's real quick. So let's put this on twos. So we're going to go each one plus. Now when we play it, we should get something. So it's looking a little fast. We can add a few more in-betweens just to smooth it out. So between here and here, this is looking a little snappy. Control K, F6. And guess what? I don't even need really do anything. Toonboom does it for me. There. This doesn't really need an in-between. But this does. This is kind of poppy. So let's go in here. Plus, plus. And I just fill it in with a tween. So now we can do our onion skin. And just fill it in. It's actually quite simple now. All the hard work is pretty much done. We're just trying to keep things consistent. See this? This is kind of dipping. So let's fix it to our guide. Same thing. That's also a little poppy from here to here. So let's add another in between. And we can just adjust the feet a little bit. I don't really need to adjust anything else. See how it looks. There you go. So the walk, I like that. Everything's looking pretty smooth. The arms are swinging nicely. The one thing is the hair. So now let's go into the hair and add some nice secondary action. So we have our walk cycle all done. Now, what we can do is we can go in and add some secondary movement with the head and the hair. So I'm going to go on the head layer, and I'll just remove everything. I'll remove all the keyframes. Okay, so when we go, now I'll go through, I'm looking. So at the down pose, the head is going to be at its lowest. So let's go to the down. That's the down. Yeah, that's the down. I'll keyframe that. And what am I going to do? The head, I'll squash it down a little bit to add some like excitement. I don't want to tilt it too much. I can drop it, maybe drop it a bit. And the hair, I'll stretch it up and drag it back. Just a little bit. I don't want it too much. There you go. See how the head drops down? Now, as he goes up, this is the up pose. I'll key that. Everything's dragging, the head goes up. I can lift the head up a little bit. And I'll stretch it. I'll stretch the head as the hair goes down, right? The hair is getting dragged down as he goes up. Just a little bit, not too much. So as it goes here, and then I'll go back to normal as he goes back to the contact. Whoops. I don't know what happened there. There you go. Maybe I need to push these out a little more. There you go. Let's see how his head here, his hair, yeah, I like that. So now I just copy and paste on the other down and the other up. And it should work. I like that. It gives it a nice bounce. All I need to do now is tween this and fill in, convert it to twos. Jeez. There you go. So now the hair is moving. It gives it more looks like it's more alive. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's a walk. It took a little longer than I thought. My rig isn't really that, it's not really the best to animate. I'm not really a rigger, but you can still get the job done. And if you put a little bit more time and effort, you can polish this up and actually put it in your demo reel. Okay, well, fucking hell.